first thing I want to know is who here has been in a meeting, had an exceptional idea in that meeting, and then forgot to share it with the world? You've got it straight away. You never did anything with that idea. Some of us, not as many as I thought. But today I'm going to show you how you can build a custom agent to make sure that never happens again. So I know we had some discussions about AI, and I completely agree with them. However, let me pose to you that you can use AI to do the busy work in your life so that you can focus on the things that you love. So that's kind of the theme of today. Now, before I get into actually building one, let me explain what custom agents are and where you'll find them. So when they're available, which will be the 25th of Feb, on the left-hand sidebar here, they will show up. And you can see that I have a couple working for me right now. I'm very good at multitasking. And what a custom agent is a way to... they're really powerful because you can have an infinite number of them. So, and they do very specific things. So the way that I like to think about them, they're your AI-powered teammate that work in the background. You can give them context, you can tell them what you want them to do, and they'll work when you sleep. So if we're wanting to do our side hustles, if we're wanting to make content, this is, I think, a way to save hours and hours per day. So what we're going to do is we're going to build one together. So if I go onto the plus here, I've got a couple of options. So Notion gives you some templates to begin with, so you can get up and running straight away. I could ask AI to create the custom agent for me, or I'm going to go ahead and click on create blank so that you can see all of the triggers and the back end of building a custom agent. So you can see that it's given it a fun name. We can change that. And there's a couple of things to kind of get situated on the screen. You can chat with your agent down here. So that's how we're going to start creating what it does. But if we go over to the right-hand side here, I don't know, can you guys see my mouse? You can. Okay, great. The anatomy of a custom agent, it has 3 key things. And why this is important, because it'll kind of get your brain to start thinking about how can I use these? What can I do with them? So first we can add a trigger. Now this is how does this custom agent know when to work? So the first is that you could have this custom agent work every hour or day or week or month. So let's say, for example, you want a report every week at 9 a.m. to go through all of your meetings for the week and give you context about them. But you could also have a trigger with inside Notion. So this could be when a page is added to Notion, it knows it's got to go and do its job. So an example would be if I've got tickets inside a database and I want every time a new ticket is created, I want that to be given to the correct person. So my custom agent knows to kind of work then. And this one's my favorite. If anybody uses Slack, you can actually have custom agents respond to Slack messages. So sounds a bit crazy, but where this is really valuable, our people team have channels where people ask a lot of questions that there's already that information available, but they don't know where to search for it. They prefer to kind of ask that question in the Slack channel. And it will actually respond with the answer. It saved our people team like 10 hours a week or something ridiculous like that from answering questions that the AI agent knows the answer to, and they can kind of focus on those more nuanced cases. The second part here is the instructions. Now, the best part is that it is completely in natural language. There's no flow charts, no coding required. You can just tell your custom agent what you want it to do. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to build that out. And then the final piece is the tools and access. So this is how you make your custom agent an expert in its field. So let's say we want to give it web access so it can search the web. Or you could give it context by adding certain pages or databases. So what I mean by this is that you are actually saying, hey, here's all the information you need to know. you're an expert in this field, go and do this job. So it's not wasting time searching across, multiple different things that aren't relevant. Now, some of you may know when you get a Notion license, depending on the tier, you actually get access to all of the LLMs. So whether you're a Claude fan like me or you prefer GPT, you can actually run these on any LLM that you want, or you can get Notion to pick it based on the custom agent. So let's get started. Now, the first thing I'm thinking about when I'm in my meetings is, I've got to do my meetings, whether it be about sales, whether it be about partnerships or content. And then I also have to post on LinkedIn. I have to do content based on a lot of the things that I'm talking about in those meetings. So what I was kind of thinking about was, how do I have an agent that compiles all of the information that I already have? I'm having these meetings, I'm having great ideas. How does it compile that and then help me get a kickstart on those LinkedIn posts? Now, this could be anything. This could be Substack. This could be any type of content. But I guess the first piece is, how do we get that information into Notion? Is anyone using AI meeting notes at the moment? Has anyone tried it? Some of you? Yes? Great. This has been a game changer in my role, and even in personal life. I've put it on when some of my friends are out to dinner, so that we can kind of get a summary at the end of the dinner. It's very fun. Highly recommend. It's a bit unhinged because it's got no emotion. It's like Maddie was disappointed with this friend, and anyway, so give it a go. Tell me how you go. But the cool thing about AI meeting notes, and there are a lot of tools that do transcription, as I'm sure you all know. The benefit here is that it's inside Notion with all of your other content. So whether it be your research or whether it be your content, whether it be, any of that other information, and you know where it is. So it's not just like getting emailed to you after a meeting. So it will, as you can see, transcribe our entire meeting that we're having right now. And then you can write any notes that you want here. So if anything is super important, you can add that there. And then when you stop the meeting, that's going to go ahead and summarize that entire meeting. So at any point, I can go and, have a look at the actual transcript. If any of these points I want to dig into a little bit further. And they will also pull out any action items. Another really good custom agent is from these meetings, it can pull out those action items and put them on your task list. Saves me a lot of time. But now we've got the content in. So we've got a way to get all of our information into Notion, all of our meetings. So now what we're going to do is build out our instructions. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to use Notion AI to build these instructions for me. So I'm going to say, on Wednesday at 8 a.m., I want you to look through all of the meetings that I've had from the past week, and I want you to look on the web at any Notion-related posts that are trending, and then I want you to create me 3 quality LinkedIn posts that align with my goals. As an example, I'm going to go ahead and ask the custom agent to create that for me. So what that's going to do is it is going to, thank you, it says it's going to set it up. It's going to create the trigger so that every Wednesday at 8 a.m, it's going to send me a notification when it does this. It is also going to write in all of the instructions that are needed, and then it's going to add in any of the pages that it needs access to. So let's have a look. We can see that it has expanded my instructions, which is great. And that is pretty much ready to go as is. So that will work every Wednesday, 8 a.m. But when I think about this, I want it to kind of have a little bit of a head start. I want it to sound like me. I don't want it to just be what this agent thinks is a good LinkedIn post. So what I have been doing, as I'm sure some of you are as well, when I'm going to post on LinkedIn, I actually do my first draft in Notion. So I have this database filled with LinkedIn posts that I've already created in my own voice, that I can actually start to reference. So this doesn't have to be you have this already. You can copy and paste your Substack posts into Notion. And what I'm going to do is actually create myself, sorry, I've got to type with one hand, communication profile. So I'm going to ask Notion AI to help me build a communication profile. Is everyone keeping up? Does this make sense so far? Oh, no, I don't need to type anymore. Thank you, though. It was very helpful for after I finished. No. I appreciate it, Luke. So now I'm going to ask Notion AI so you are a conversation analyst, look through all of my LinkedIn posts and create me a communication profile. So there we go. And now that's going to go and look at all of that LinkedIn content that I have inside Notion, and it's going to come up with a communication profile. Now, I could be a little bit more specific here. Obviously, this is a very generic prompt. I could say I want it to be structured like this, or I want you to pull out key phrases that I say. And as I said, you can bring in the more information, the better. So I was working with a content creator recently who we were saying, yes, let's bring in transcripts from your videos, or let's bring in like those bigger Substack posts into this, and it will create a communication profile. I think he's just taking his time thinking because everyone's watching. There we go. He gets shy. No, so great question. You can't link your LinkedIn, but you can draft in Notion. Like it's not connected to LinkedIn. Finalize everything, exactly, then post it on LinkedIn. Copy, paste. It's a good question. Potentially you could download it as a CSV. Don't know if LinkedIn allows that, but it's an excellent question. I can find out for you. Okay, so now we have our lovely communication profile. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just mention that in here. So I'm going to say, as I have one hand, just pretend I've written, please be aligned with my communication profile. The other part that I have been thinking about a lot is to make sure that this aligns with my values and goals as a business. So the other thing that you can do, I have a Notion page that says, here are my goals as a business. Here's my audience. Oh, shame, it's going so well. All right, I'll yell, don't worry. What are my goals as a business? I just have a Notion page and I can go ahead and add that in as well. So in a couple of minutes, we have a Notion agent that every Wednesday at 8 a.m. is going to look through all of my meetings for the week. It's going to look through the web on anything that's trending in Notion, or in your case, your business. And then it's going to come up with 3 LinkedIn posts that I can obviously edit, change, decide what I like. Does everyone want to see? I've been using it for a while. Do we want to see what it looks like? Yeah? Cool. Let me so you can see I have quite a number. Content Queen is what I named her. And let's have a look. So if we go up here, we can have a look at the activity. So you can see mine actually runs every Friday, Saturday. And let's have a look at one. So the cool thing about this is you can actually see whenever it runs exactly what it's done. So we can see that it's searched through my meetings, it's searched through my LinkedIn content to make sure it was aligned, and then it's created me this weekly content report. So what we can see in this weekly content report, like this would be really cool just to get on its own. Firstly, I've got 3 research findings that are about Notion and that are relevant to my brand. The second is you can see the ideas that it's pulled out from my meetings. So the first one was a meeting with my career coach. It's pulled out all of those key juicy bits that would be really good for content. And then a couple of other meetings that I've had as well. And then it's collated all of that to the themes to use in the content. And like I said, this would be incredible just as a collation of all of this information once a week. But what it's also done is created me 3 LinkedIn posts. It's also ranked them. So you can see 1, 2, 3. I've asked it to rank them based on what it thinks my audience would prefer as an example. And if I go into one, we can see that there's a little description, but it's actually got the entire post there. So I can go ahead and, obviously edit any of this that I don't like. I can use it as a starting point. And then, that's the wrong one. Then we can post it on LinkedIn. That was me trying to make sure the Mac would stay on this whole time, if you guys were wondering what that was. How to Mac stay on, actually, that's so funny. It's embarrassing. Yeah, no, that's really good, actually. How to Mac stay on. Yeah, I like it. And then you can post it on LinkedIn. So feel free to go like my LinkedIn post, please. It's only got 14 likes or something. Anyway, I'm fine. So essentially, what we've learned today is that you can take insights from meetings, or even I do it on walks. I use AI meeting notes to capture my thoughts. You can create a custom agent that searches across the web and searches across all of your meetings and create you 3 really incredible starting points to then post on LinkedIn, Substack, whatever it may be. But really, the opportunities are endless with custom agents. This is one example. If you think about those triggers or what you want it to do, I'm really excited to see what you guys build with custom agents. Please, if you have any questions, come up to me afterwards and I'd love to brainstorm your first agent. Thank you.